What is up, YouTube? So with the IG growing recently, I decided to make a quick little what's in my camera bag video. So to just jump right into it, the camera bag, I use the Bag Smart Boston camera bag. I'm loving this thing so much. It's perfect for what I'm doing. Front compartment, I keep a face mask. I keep my business cards, my wallet, all right in here. The main camera compartment right here is where I keep my camera gear. This main top part is where I keep my camera strap and the extra dividers and some cord management Velcro strips. And all in here is where I keep my bodies and lenses, which I'll go over in a little bit. Now up here at the top, this is either where I keep my gimbal or my drone. Right here, it does have a place for your laptop, and then it has an easy access pouch right here so you can get in and get your gear, grab your camera if you want to just swing it around your shoulder or something real quick. Then on the other side, it's got a little compartment, just a little mesh pocket compartment. This is where I keep my spare batteries or SD cards usually. Okay, now for the camera gear. My main video camera, which is filming this right now, is the Sony a7S III. I've had it for about a month now and I am loving it. If you guys are on the board about getting it, it's amazing. Autofocus is quick, low light is insane, dynamic range, great video camera. Not good for photos though, which is where I use this. This is the Sony a7 III. This is what I use for all my photos, and then also a B cam for video if I'm doing an interview setup. I have the newer battery grip on it, and great for photos. I really do love it. 24 megapixels is all I need at the moment, so probably not gonna go with the R4 or 3, but I'm loving what I've been able to make with this. As for lenses, these are kind of my babies. Filming this video on the S3 is the Sigma 35 Art 1.4. That's probably my favorite lens. What I take if I'm only gonna take one lens. My next lens is the 50mm 1.4 from Sigma as well. Love this one. This is great for portraits or product shots. Just another good prime lens. I like prime lenses just to be able to stop down a 1.4. A wide angle lens, Tamron 17-28 f2.8. This thing feels cheap, kind of like a crappy kit lens, but it's sharp, 2.8. I've had no complaints with the image quality. It's all internal zoom, weather sealed. So haven't had any complaints as far as quality goes. It just feels a little cheap, but it also makes it really nice for when you're on a gimbal or anything of that sort. But yeah, this lens is great. It's super sharp. Me complaining about the build quality, that's my only complaint about it. The image quality though is great. It's what I use for real estate or landscapes like these bangers right here that I shot in the Grand Canyon. Really like this one. It's cheaper than the Grandmaster Sony too. Then for my telephoto lens, I use the Tamron 70-180 f2.8. This thing is pretty new. It's super sharp, super quick autofocus. No complaints on it either. It does feel a little cheaper than some other brands 70-200s, but what I do love about it is this thing is light. Other 70-200s are super heavy and they kind of suck carrying around all day in a backpack. This is great. I love bringing it on. It never really adds much weight, so that's what I do love about it. And you can also pick out compositions that you wouldn't normally see or be able to find with a wide angle or 35mm lens. Those are my two camera bodies, and then my four lenses. Those things don't plan on changing anytime soon. I'm loving what it's been getting me. And then for little extras, I use the Atomos Ninja 5 as a monitor. Don't actually use this as much as I thought I would, but it is great when I do bring it along. It helps me just be able to see things better. It really helps when I'm rocking two cameras and I'm the only man there. So I can post this up on one of the cameras and then be monitoring the second and be able to see the other camera from far away using this. It's nice when you're shooting more controlled environment or a handheld rig. This is great to have, just as a little extra cherry on top to be able to make sure you're getting your shots properly exposed and in focus. ND filter, I use the Peter McKinnon. It's not on here right now because it's on the camera, but this is what I use. It's the Peter McKinnon from Polar Pro, 82mm 2-to-5 stop variable ND. It's the first edition. I bought it about a month before the second edition came out, but don't really need the mist. It's cool, but I'm already happy with what this has given me. So that's that. My drone, I use the DJI Mavic Air 2. Here's some footage from this thing. This thing is a beast. I really do like it. It's super easy to fly. I haven't had any problems. I did wreck it once, but only thing I don't like about it so far is it's not the best in low light, and sometimes when I grade it kind of heavy, you can get a lot of noise in the shadows. So you gotta make sure you're exposing well, and other than that, it's super fun. The drone's like a little toy for me, so I do love having that. Another little extra thing I always make sure to bring in my bag is these little Aperture, which ones are these? These are the Aperture MC lights. This one's actually dead right now, but I got the other one going, making that teal light in the background that you see. These things are great just to throw in your bag in case you need a little light when it gets dark, or in case you want to make some cool accents on some products. And they're just super small and light, so I always toss them in there. But they're great, and I really do like having these in my bag. Another item I use that I toss in my bag every once in a while for video is this page for my A7S III for handheld setups. This thing is from Small Rig, both the handle and the cage, but it gives me another point of contact, and then it also gives me lots of mounts to be able to mount microphones, the monitor. But this is what I use for a handheld setup if I know I'm not going to be throwing it on the gimbal. So yeah, this is probably my favorite setup to use, but sometimes if I'm switching back and forth between this and the gimbal, it can be a little tricky, so I usually just either stick to this or the gimbal. And lastly, the gimbal I use is the Ronin S from DJI. I just have the first one. I didn't really want to get the second because I didn't really see a need to. It's nice, it's lighter, but I'm really fine having a couple extra pounds in my bag if I can save like 400, 500 bucks. I really don't care that much. The stability on it is just fine for me, and it's meeting all my needs, so it works great. I think that's a wrap on the what's in my camera bag video. I don't really know what else I forgot other than maybe some of my lights and stuff, but if you guys want to see what I use for more of a studio setup, I can make a separate video about that. Thank you guys for tuning in. Follow me on the IG, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.